All right, we have some major breaking news. Twitter is blowing up after a group of Washington reporters realized that Donald Trump has not been seen by anybody since Tuesday.
Donald Trump has vanished. 4 days. No rallies, no cameras, not even a single social rant. Washington is in panic mode. Inside whispers about health scares, pointing, pointing to those strange bruises and mental decline. Gavin Newsom is already smirking, ready to dance on Trump political grave. And online, Twitter, TikTok, and Reddit is a wildfire of conspiracies. But here's the part no one is talking about. Trump's disappearance might not be a weakness, but it might be a strategy. Over the next 10 minutes, I'm going to expose what is really happening behind the curtain and behind the silence. It's not random, it's calculated. Hit the subscribe button now because I'm about to show you what flips the entire narrative upside down. Right out the gate, this is insane. Trump, the guy that can't go without 5 minutes, without a spotlight, is now completely upset. This is not business as usual. This screams something is wrong. Whether in health, strategy, or chaos, this is not normal president behavior. If Trump isn't in front of the cameras, either something broke down behind the scenes or he's hiding something. Let's watch and let's dive right in.
And there are no publicly planned events for the next few days as well. This is highly unique for the president who is addicted to cameras. Instead, we've seen Stephen Miller, Caroline Levitt, J.D. Vance making Fox News appearances, but again, no Donald Trump. I do want to remind you that for the past few weeks, there's been a lot of makeup on Trump's left hand and over his arm due to the purple spots that he has. Now, that in and of itself isn't that irregular. I have family members who have the same thing, but that combined with Trump's health and what Trump says, it then becomes pretty weird. This reads, whispers are traveling through the Washington press pool that Donald Trump has not been seen since Tuesday and has zero publicly planned events through the weekend. This clip that I'm about to play is apparently one of the last times Trump was seen by the press. And I'll play this clip in just one moment. But Laura Rosen is the one who essentially broke this online. Her original post is up to 19.4 million views. It's a good time to point out that while Trump is just gone, not in front of any of the cameras, none of the problems he claimed to solve, that he would solve, have been solved. The war in Ukraine is not only raging on, but Russia is taking advantage of Trump's weakness to kill dozens of people every single day. Israel and Palestine still fighting. There's no end to the war. Tariffs just got struck down by a court, but they're also causing inflation. I'm not even joking. Due to the tariffs' insane size, they're causing inflation, but they're also just illegal. So there's no point to them. We'll cover all of this, but Laura Rosen broke this by saying, Trump has no public events scheduled all weekend. Don't believe he was seen today either. And then someone points out, or yesterday, and she says, a White House pool reporter says the pool did not see the president today. Quote, we have a travel/photo lid as of 5:17 p.m. The pool did not physically see the president today. This brings me on to the clip.
Agrees with it. I don't know if we're ready for it in this country. But where you have it, it is, we have no choice. So in D.C. and Washington, states are going to have to make their own decision. But if somebody kills somebody, like you could have been killed, very lucky you didn't get killed, it's the death penalty.
Really sharp and energetic president. You can see the bruising on his hand right there, which isn't indicative of much until you couple it with his behavior.
And here is where it gets really sketchy. You can literally see the bruising on his hands, which on its own might mean nothing, but paired with the slurred, incoherent rambles, that screams cognitive decline. And don't forget, this is the guy who loves to project strength. Even if his makeup team can't cover it up anymore, is a problem. This is a president that is unraveling in front of us, and the silence from his team is deafening.
I mean, watch historian Heather Cox Richardson explaining the cognitive decline patterns in a brilliant way. By the way, make sure you drop a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe to the Adam Mockler feed. It means the world.
Administration had Trump sign a an executive order in which he claimed that he claimed this, that he would insist that anybody who was caught burning a flag would automatically get a year in jail. Well, in his discussion of the executive order, Trump said, "Oh, everybody is burning flags. It's so terrible. This is such a terrible thing. And, we have to stop this flag burning." When was the last time you heard of anybody burning a flag? I mean, I was like, what? Flag burning? And that's really interesting because that was a really big deal in the 1980s, obviously leading to the Supreme Court decision. And in many ways, Trump is reverting to the 1980s, a time when he felt like he was very powerful. At least one puff piece writer called him the King of New York City.
This is the clearest proof that Trump is mentally stuck in the past. He's running the country like it's still his gaudy 1890s real estate empire. Tariffs, macho handshake tricks, and even remodeling of the White House. It is Mar-a-Lago 2.0. It is not policy. It is nostalgia mixed with narcissism. And while he's stuck in fantasy land, real crises are exploding. War, inflation, and foreign policy disasters. America isn't living in Trump golden age fantasy. It is paying the price of its delusion.
And he clearly feels comfortable in that gaudy world of the 1980s when he appeared to be at the top of his game. You're also seeing his handlers, the people around him, really encouraging him to put his time into the kinds of performances that he cares about. So he's doing a lot of remodeling, both of the White House and of, the Rose Garden, which he paved to look quite a bit like Mar-a-Lago.
Everything he's been remodeling looks terrible. It sucks. And the tariffs. Trump has been obsessed with tariffs since the 80s. It's been a pattern going back directly to the 80s. Also, he does this weird handshake thing where he yanks people's hand really hard. And that's something that they taught in these 80s business classes. Not that I was there, I wasn't born yet, but I've read that in these 80s type business classes, something they would teach you is to be macho and to yank someone's arm. And Trump still does this.
And has put in a sound system that is the same as the one at Mar-a-Lago or similar to it. So he can play DJ on his iPad. He's talked about getting rid of the East Wing of the White House and replacing it with this giant event space. We've seen him walking on the roof of the White House with an architect. Now he is talking about remodeling the Kennedy Center. And he's talking a lot about the different sort of landscaping things that he's going to do around Washington, D.C.
I think it's a valid theory. I think you can also chalk it up to narcissism and delusions of grandeur and overall just power grabs. But it is very reminiscent of the 80s, like everything that Trump does. While all of this is happening, let me just run you through a few key things. A federal court struck down Trump's tariffs as illegal under federal law in an appeals ruling because they're so widespread that there's not an emergency. He had to enact the EEPA, which was the Economic Emergency Powers Act, or the Emergency Economic Powers Act. Same thing. He's declaring a global emergency. There's not one. He also declared a domestic emergency in order to, use the Alien Enemies Act. And then he said there was an emergency in California, in D.C. We can't let these brazen power grabs be wrapped in emergencies.
This is Trump playbook. Declare fake emergencies to grab power. Greenland, fake crisis. Tariff, fake crisis. California, fake crisis. It's the same con over and over and over again. And why is AWOL? His administration is still pulling the strings. That is the real danger. It doesn't even need to be seen to damage the country.
And one thing that I want to make a video about as well is Denmark summoning a U.S. envoy over claims of interference in Greenland. There are new reports that the U.S. has been sending people over to Greenland to try to sow division between them and Denmark so the U.S. can make a move. We're going to cover all of this, but the point is, Trump is gone. This reads, "Where is Donald Trump? Concerns rise as POTUS goes missing from public view amid health speculation. Questions are being raised around Donald Trump's absence from the spotlight. The president, who is uniquely obsessed with the cameras, is gone." I want to end this off with some hope because while Trump is gone, we do have new leaders emerging. Check out this clip of Governor Gavin Newsom.
I've had the privilege of meeting a lot of foreign leaders. I've had a chance
What's the
visiting
general,
them.
if not putting...
They're laughing behind his back. That did not happen. I'm making this clear. Do not conflate what I just said with the meeting I had with the Denmark delegation.
It wasn't them. Other foreign leaders are laughing.
I've had dozens and dozens. Ambassadors, met with him.
What are they saying to you?
They're laughing behind his back. He's being played everywhere. It's an embarrassment.
I mean, of course it is. This dude goes into a meeting with Vladimir Putin and says he didn't really do much prep, and they look at it like a land swap, like a land real estate deal. They don't understand the intentions of Vladimir Putin or anybody around them. And now we have to deal with an administration that is clearly incompetent, and Trump's apparent absence is sparking concerns. One person said, Donald Trump has not been seen in over 24 hours.
And that is the bombshell. Even his critics, like Newsom, are stepping up and filling the vacuum. While foreign leaders laugh at America's incompetence, it is generally embarrassing. Trump disappearing isn't just a personal issue. It's a national security crisis. If America doesn't know where its president is, that is not politics. That is a full-blown crisis.
And has no public appearances scheduled for the next 2 days. What is going on? Another remarked, Trump has no public events scheduled all weekend. Don't believe he was seen today either. Now, the thing is, people are speculating, saying a lot of insane things online. We don't know. It's very likely that within 48 hours, there's some new crazy distraction or deportation, and Trump comes out frothing at the mouth, calling the media crazy like he always does. We don't know. We do not know, but I'm going to leave it there. If you appreciate these videos, drop a like. Really quickly, listen to this. Did you guys know that Trump's new big ugly bill makes ICE the highest funded U.S. law enforcement agency? Well, most right-wing sources are not reporting on the facts of the bill. For example, American Faith, this right-wing news source, only reports this as Trump's deportation plan boosts American jobs. That's one way to put it when farmers are complaining about all of their workers disappearing, but other news sources that are more local actually report on the economic harm. So Arizona PBS reports Trump's mega bill.
At the end of the day, this boils down to the one brutal fact. Donald Trump is gone when America needs his leadership the most. He is bruised, incoherent, and clinging to the past, and hiding away from the cameras. While he disappears, the problems he promised to fix are getting worse. So I'll leave you with this question. Do you think Trump is hiding something serious? Or is this just another political stunt? Let me know in the comments. I'll be reading them. And if you want more unapologetic breakdown, smash that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Because trust me, this story is only getting darker.
Immigration provisions could add $1 trillion to the national debt. Those are two completely different interpretations based on the biases of the news source.